Hi everybody. Welcome to Materia D&D, where we play Materia D&D, where we play D&D our way. Wow. Okay. Words. Um, Welcome to session 150. We got another big round number to play through tonight. Unfortunately, Rock will not be joining us as he is traveling into town so that he can join for one of our previous players' weddings that is going on this weekend. So, in advance, if you ever do get to hear this, Calisor, congratulations, my man.
Woo!
Uh, woo. So yeah, CJ is traveling in so that he can be a part of the wedding. So he's not going to join us tonight, but that doesn't stop the roll. So yeah, Material D&D, where we play D&D our way, session 150. We are we're picking up with the Crass Menagerie on Everly the 26th, as they have been traveling uh, with Pew Lamb and his crew as to the DM's surprise, they decided that it would be best to not split the routes and have one larger group go south and one larger group go north to the various temples, but rather decided to take both groups and head north. Um, and by north, I mean west and north of West Green, where they are. How do I want to put it? Where it's like the last establishment that hasn't fallen to the dangers of the open plains here on in Cled. It rides along the Mason Fair Byway, and it lives on the border. So what has happened is that they have, if you see on the screen, I think I'm on the right screen. Let me
Yep.
make sure. Look at the stream. Yeah, cool, perfect. We kind of plotted out their course. They Menagerie has been communications with Modi, not Modi, Bodhi. There we go. That's a thing.
Wow, that's a
Uh,
throwback.
that is a throwback. Wow. Okay, with it's for people that don't know. That used to be a 4E shaman that I
Yeah, that was Adam's character in my campaign.
played. That was weird. That was really weird. Okay, but for Bodhi, um, Bodhi, who is the head of the Heralds of Exploration on here, that is the main source of information and well, main contact out here far to the west that is working in association with the College of Fascinations and the Unveilers through the Alabaster colleges or Alabaster museums over in Whitlaw. So the whole group, having heard the horrific tales and details as was shared by some of the various contacts that they have um, in Rafa and Tame and Vasrin, I think was their names, if I remember right.
Parson.
Who actually Varson. There we go. Thank you. The individuals that actually do travel deep west into the open plains, into Pack of the Sacrament territory as spies to try to gain information, understand what's going on, and so far have been able to maintain their sanity based on the stories and tales that the menagerie have been exposed to now. Um, over the pack has this strong belief that the open plains is uh, well, it's not just the pack. The All the parties involved believe that the open plains has many forgotten relics, ruins, historical um, objects of significance, and magical artifacts that could, alter the course of history, strewn about this neutral territory. Um, the Heralds of Exploration and their allies have mostly been concerned about getting these objects, categorizing them, and making sure that they're in a safe location. Where the menagerie has learned that the pack been has a weird, twisted kind of grasp on reality and faith, and they believe that the old deities and the old spirits of the open plains need to be appeased by sacrifices and spilling blood and nourishing the land with said blood to have them assist the denizens of this of the lands to guide them to be able to uncover these forgotten relics, these sources of power, so that they can use it for their benefit. The major concern is that if there is a potential arcane device or holy instrument or something of unimaginable power that has been long buried and forgotten in this once heavily trafficked area in the terms of magic, spirit, and faith, uh, especially during the Black War, over 1,000 years, well, during the 1,000 years of that time period, that there are essentially objects of mass destruction that could be uncovered, and we do not want them to fall into the wrong hands. So the Crass Menagerie, along with the others that they are working with, uh, sans Rafa, as Rafa is injured and needs to recover from the raid that happened on the first Tristan day as they rode into West Green, and then also and Farson are actually heading back further west to try to gather more information. The rest of the groups are traveling north and west. Based on some divination and communion from Ben, it was ascertained that going north would be a good one, and then that going to one of the dig sites that is closest to the Pack of the Sacrament territories would be the best place to start, so that way the menagerie and their allies could work up and then back towards friendly territory. So the group has been traveling for about 3.5 days now, and they've stopped at the destroyed settlement of Hill Bottom, where they have camped overnight with the entirety of the group. And the plan is to travel about 2 more days north with the hills to the west of them until they hit the jungle-like forests, leaving some of the acacia and shrubs behind, hitting into the more dense forest where the groups will split, and Pew Lamb 14, Opal, and their crew will head into the jungle ruins, where the menagerie will travel further and into potentially more dangerous territory, being closer to Pack of the Sacrament Terror, as there is a Olympian style ruins waiting. Oh yeah, Olympian style ruins waiting for them. Uh, that seems to be of importance. Uh, so that's essentially where we're picking up, unless the players have anything they want to add, um, or any questions that they want to get clarified. But let me go ahead and grab Pebble and put Pebble. Ooh, not like that. I didn't mean to squish Pebble.
Squish Pebble.
So, tree.
Give everybody control over Rock for today, probably, just in case. I don't know.
I will. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let
Cool,
me
cool.
grab the tokens if needed. Well, I mean, probably definitely needed based
Yeah,
on
so
where you guys
something.
are going. Yeah. All right. Get this guy.
One thing, so we did mention, and we did some rolls, and I can vaguely speak some
Sure.
minor words of Celestial now, but also during that time maybe also, I mean we kind of sussed out a little bit about the stuff that's going on with the glaive, but I don't know. I mean you might, at the very least, I would probably like just look at it every once in a while and not necessarily ask anybody about
Yeah.
it, but if anybody was curious, etc.
Mhm.
etc.
Yeah. So, yeah, based on some of the activities and stuff that happened in the Sunlit Spire, where Sej now reigns as the keeper of the tower, and Ben has picked up the mantle of adventurer once again.
It's like a relay race.
Yeah, essentially, right?
Literally passing the baton where the baton is a big tower.
Um, so, all right. So, end of day, third day. Wait, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 3.5 days of travel. Now, something I should have asked, and this might change time frames, and we can by all means do this. You don't necessarily, the blocks represent 8 hours of travel, right? Which is like a day's worth of travel. So if you guys double time or stuff, you can technically travel faster. I forgot to ask if that was something you guys wanted to do um, previously, so we could, adjust the date as needed.
Maybe For the
Yeah,
first two legs, the hill bottom?
yeah, just because I think it's relatively safe, and we
Because essentially, if
realize
you
that
do
there is.
12 hours for 2 days,
Yeah, because like
Okay.
well,
time was important, right? Like
yeah,
we.
time is important. Yes, yes, yes.
Especially
And
since we're both all heading
Yeah,
north, that
exactly.
we
Because
need
like
to
it's gonna
find
be
ways
longer
to
to get
get corners.
south. Yeah.
yeah. And yes, and something that I will say, the I'll just say the ruins and the encounters were generated by my players based on dice rolls. So you guys did this to yourselves. That's all I'm saying.
Yay!
Adam,
We're in
Mhm.
danger.
in my year or so here, have I ever traveled further west than say a day?
I would say you probably traveled as far as 3 days out to the next settlement that was along the Mason Fair. Have you see me pinging? I think I'm on the right
Yes, yes.
layer. So you probably would have traveled to these various settlements since you were here for so long. You've probably made it up to the lake. You probably made it all the way down here.
But not within the last year.
Okay.
But
Well, yeah.
it it would have been difficult because of the requirements. But I
Yeah,
would
yeah.
say that yes, you would have, but not in a long time. And I would say up to you how Ben would have responded when he heard that these settlements were, sacked, having potentially interacted with some of these people in the past.
Okay. No, I was just trying to think of because they're small hamlets, like they're like small villages. They're not like any kind of like more than like 4 or 5,000 people.
Oh yeah, though that's huge. Yeah, yeah. Like
Yeah,
maybe the
couple
far.
hundred, if that.
Yeah, they were notable spots because keep to keep in mind that the environment here is mostly, and we don't have an analog for it in current world, but it's ancient North American plains meets modern day African savanna, right?
Got it.
So a
Okay.
lot of hunting, a lot of raw resource gathering.
Now, the people here, are they mostly nomadic or are they stationary or a combination of both?
So it's a common. So the by here, do you mean like in West Green and the
Say
local
this,
area?
say this
Or,
map right here. I'm
okay, got it.
assuming the to the east is going to be more settlement type, and maybe to the
Yes.
west is more
So
nomadic.
yeah. So if you can kind of see on the map, it might be the color palette's a little. Sometimes if you're slightly colorblind, like I am, it's a little hard to tell. But there's the river that meets the lake, and then there's the roads and all that. They kind of, if you look from north to south, it kind of cuts and it goes green to more like a yellow brown texture. Green land essentially represents Cled, which you guys have been for most of the campaign, and that is well established nation state kind of kingdom. And the more yellow brown textured colored land to the west that represents the open plains, and the open plains is essentially neutral territories. There is there was settlements and there was civilization in that sense. What you do know based on with Rafa, Bodhi, Karos's, and Davis's like histories and all that, that the more west you go, excuse me, the more nomadic it goes, the more tribal it goes, the more small group it goes. And what's scary, because of how well you guys rolled, that a lot of these like small tribes or nomadic villages, they've basically just been drawn to and have been assimilated by the pack of the sacrament, um, uh, kind of allowing them to join and forego, civilization more for like uh, it's almost like a hedonistic lifestyle, right? Where they can act on their impulses, they can kill if they want to kill, they can, you know, pillage and raid. So yeah,
So basically, you
definitely.
can
Mad
imagine
Max.
it. Well, I was
Yeah,
thinking
sort of.
with that definite line is kind of like the Mississippi pre-Western
Eh,
colonizer settlement. Like that Mississippi line is like right there where we're talking about the river and the
Mhm.
road going north south, and
Yeah,
everything to
that's
the
fair.
east is more civilized, and everything to the west is a little more iffy, Wild West type.
Yeah, and like in the what's immediately on the map, it is still a little bit more. So it was a little bit more settled. There was less nomadics. But if you guys ever do cross and get off of the map, and go into like the Bloodlands, as they're sort of referred to now, yeah, you're gonna have roving bands of marauders, raiders, Pact of the Sacrament followers.
like
Now,
a slightly safer current day Florida.
Spot on.
It's a Georgia-Florida line.
yes,
Wow, jeez.
Dangerous.
Boo.
yeah, scarily accurate. Yes, a lot less blood though. Yeah, a lot less blood.
What, here or in Florida?
Here.
Okay.
Here.
Okay.
We're
No,
talking
so
blood rivers versus blood oceans.
yes. So I will say, as you guys have been traveling, and you did hear about of actual rivers of bloods and stuff. You have not seen that. However, when you guys do enter Hill Bottom, something I might as well give you visuals. So, upon entering what was once a small hamlet, yeah, probably maybe 1,000 or so regular residents, and then maybe about 200 to 300 passersby based on trade and needs. The city is sacked. There are very few still standing establishments or buildings. Most of the buildings here would have been built out of a combination of what lumber was able to be gathered. It does look, if you are, I'll give it to Cielo because he is, your survival scout. The lumber that was brought here isn't native. It seems to be more from the Cled, so they did transfer more like pine and oak over here to build a lot of the wood structures. But it is also a mix of like adobe style clay and red brick. What is left? But if we're talking like the highest wall that's still left standing is maybe about 1.5 feet tall. Everything has been destroyed. There are old, by old I mean like a few years now, maybe a little bit more, where you can see like fires were burning because there's like that burn marks and the old ashes and the scuff marks. You can still see, at this point now the bones are bleached, but there's various strewn bones around the area, humanoid and bestial alike, that have been picked clean over the years by all manner of carrion and insects, and have been bleached by the sun. But there are signs that foot traffic has gone through here before, and not too long ago.
Does it look like foot traffic that was on the day?
You can give me a survival check.
Sure.
I mean, it's probably pointless because of how I think you're proficient in it, but hey,
Yes.
rogue.
I love rolling dice.
I love rolling dice where half of my
Yes,
results are the same.
Exactly.
Jeez, that was a pretty shit roll, but it still is a 17.
So you rolled less than, so it's a 10 plus whatever. Got it.
Well then it's 22.
Right.
If it's a 10 plus still, then
Well, if you have
it works
proficiency, your
as
minimum
stealth-
is 10.
Okay. I was writing off of just being stealth, but if it works for proficiencies,
It's any
No,
skill,
yes.
any skill.
Yeah, any skill that you are proficient or have expertise in.
22.
So yes, and now keep in mind that that's also what makes your sorry, because you're a Harangon, you're proficient in initiative. Your lowest roll on initiative is also a 10. Keep that in mind. And plus 5 bonuses. Okay, so 22. Yeah. Yeah, I would say within the last week, it looks like traffic came through in the direction of, as if they were coming to West Green, and as they were leaving West Green. And with a 22, there's a combination of marching foot tracks, like not like I would say this, not like rank and file marching, but definitely like group, like mentality, like a herd of people moving through. But there's also with a 22, yeah, you can tell that they definitely have different cadences in the footsteps, and it looks like some people are possibly either bound and being moved because their stride is different, or they're being forcefully moved because you see like drag marks. Yeah. So it looks like people came through here in the direction of going to West Green, and then more recently came through here leaving the direction of West Green. So it was.
I'm
If
gonna
you
let
want,
people know that.
oh, I don't have
Oh my
music.
god, I have to sneeze. Hold on.
You're good.
It's the only way we'll find you.
There's a ghost.
Put
Ghost
a bell on his
returning.
bitch ass.
You're just gonna hear a sneeze
What?
and a bunch of
Ah!
dust is flying around, and it's like revealing my position. Like, hey, I was just looking at these foot patterns. It's like they came a week ago. I don't know where they stayed, but there were definitely. It feels like these are the same tracks of the people that were taking people, because there's like drag marks and
Oh.
stuff.
Was it
Um,
a big
are
group?
Oh yeah, real big.
Okay.
Cielo, if you're interested in trying to figure out maybe where they stayed or some more details, you can give me an investigation check.
Sure.
But this will eat up some time in, as you're kind of exploring the ruins of everything's in ruins. The destroyed hamlet of Hillbottom.
23 because I am also proficient.
Your expertise.
Yeah. Yeah, expertise. All right, so 23. Okay.
Yeah.
So it's not as quick as you would like it, but you do separate yourself from the group because you are Cielo, and Cielo does what Cielo does.
Yeah, I'm
And
around.
yeah, you're
Close
around.
enough.
You can always you always have them in within earshot and eyesight, but essentially you guys chose this path and stopping at Hill Bottom because it has a natural break um in the line of sight because they are the hills, and this is the last like establishment that had some wall structures, so you could actually get maybe like one last good night's rest, not in just like the open plains. It seems that was a similar mindset of the individuals that came through here, and you find on the, let's say, as you approach from the east heading west, so you run into the west side. On the far west side of Hill Bottom, amongst the hills, you see that closer to where the hills were, that was probably where they were camping. They weren't actually staying within the city, but more like in the wooded areas and the acacia trees and stuff that are of uh, of the hills. And there are grotesque effigies and totems that have been built up and established, and they are a collection of animal and humanoid bones strapped by sinew and cord to wood. You see long dried ribbons of flayed skin and such upon these effigies, and this is essentially like probably where one of these camps were made. Um, and you do see the more recent like remains of like buzzing insects picking clean some of like the various kills that they made along their way, or some of the food supplies that they brought with them. Um, so yeah, the raiders that definitely came through here,
No
and
signs
now,
of life or anything, right?
minus the insects that are bugging around. But you can give me a perception check if you want to be super cautious.
Sure. Also proficient.
I
I
think you.
love being a scout. Jesus, that's a 22.
You're just
That's
roll
a
it.
natural
Yeah.
1, so I don't know if that counts.
Yeah,
No,
still
it
counts.
doesn't.
It's called reliable talent for a reason.
Yeah, it's reliable. Okay. All right. There's a
I'm really relying on my proficiencies right now,
yeah.
guys.
That's why
Oh,
you play what you play, right?
Yeah.
Um. So as you get kind of drawn in, and it's like something is so wrong that you need to get closer to look at it just to make sure that you're actually seeing it correctly. And you approach one of these effigies and you see about 24, not 24, you see about half a dozen, excuse me, like humanoid skulls that have been long picked clean. And there's that cordage and sinew that is like going through one of the eye sockets, going through another one, so that they're strapped together, and it's kind of draped over this effigy. And then you hear like some shrubs move, and you very quickly turn, draw your bow, as a little springbuck kind of just comes by and starts grazing on one of the bushes, sees you, and starts springing away. Just a little native little springbuck. So
It's a
no sign.
long, exasperated sigh after that. Wow.
Yeah.
Thought they finally found me first. That would have been strange.
But no current signs of any activity, though you do just with your general scouting and all that, you do pick up that there are definitely tracks more fresh, kind of leading in a similar route that you guys are probably going to be taking, but it looks like they're going to maybe cut through the hills, but it looks like they're, because if we look at the map that you have, the where that your location
They're like
is.
cutting this way.
Yes, exactly. They're cutting through, but they're going in the same direction that you guys will ultimately go, it looks like, because you guys are aiming for Davis, the temple that, or the ruins that we have marked as Davis's rolls. So
I'm since I'm like a little further away from the group now, but I know where they're at, so I'm gonna like scurry back to them and first I'm gonna come up to Ben and be like, hey Ben, I'm back.
Yes. Didn't know you were gone.
I'm always, well, I'm gone, but I'm always around. Whatever.
You notice that he doesn't even look up from the book that he's reading. And this is the
Regardless,
first time you've seen that book.
What are you reading? Wait, you read? Sorry, that was rude.
Wow.
I didn't mean that.
I kind of look at him and go, and look back down at the book.
Yeah.
And then I close it like I finished our graph and I look up at him.
like with a puff of air. Slap. We should tell them I found something that we should probably look at. It's not that far away.
Okay, tell.
It might be better to show.
Okay. Tell, stop, then show.
You're right. Maybe I should talk to him.
Yes, you better talk common.
Yeah, true. Hey, Carlos? What are their names? Man, I'm so bad with names. Davis?
What?
Shit.
Who said that?
Hey, everybody. I'm over here. He's reading a book.
Oh, jeez.
By the tree, the tree side over there, in a little bit further on from there in the hills. I should show you guys something. I saw something that you guys might need to see. Well, it'll be better just to show you, is what I'm saying.
Davis plays with a ring on his hand, and suddenly he's wearing armor.
yeah, Cielo, you see this like flash of I don't know, Davis. We never actually established what it looks like when it.
I mean, it's kind of up to Rock, I think, but
Today you rock.
that's true.
Yeah,
I am
you're
playing
Rock.
Rock today somewhat. So yeah, let's just say it's like a little bit of steam escapes from the ring, and then yeah, we get some kind of like bubble, like a lot of tiny little bubbles sort of fly out real fast, like in the matter of like 2 or 3 seconds, and they just kind of come clean to my body, and then poof, they like solidify into armor.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Yeah, this is the first time I think you've properly seen it, because when he was summoned to the trials, Cielo and
Yeah,
Ben,
it was in the run.
the magic with the blaring the radiant light summoned all your equipment onto you. So this is the first
What?
time you see.
The hell was that?
Oh, yeah. Rock over there. He did this so that I don't, because it takes me a while to get all this stuff on, and it's handy in a pinch. I mean, there's also this, and then I'll summon my glaive, which you've seen before. But it's like, I like to just be ready on the go, and then Rock, my buddy Rock, helped me out.
Hey Ben, he keeps showing this thing off. It's pretty, but
Yes.
Al's really slowly getting his 3 belts on. He's like, "We can use this for the rapier."
well, maybe
my-
if you don't want to walk all that way, I feel you. I can
One
tell
sec.
you it's okay.
Here's my crossbow belt. The quiver. The quiver's on. Okay. Okay, I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready.
I
You
didn't
sure?
realize. Yeah.
He slapped himself a couple times. You hear ting ting ting. Yeah, okay, I'm good. I'm good. Let's go.
Well, it's not that far, and I know the way back. So if you don't want to go, it's an abandoned settlement of the people that we're tracking, I think, and it's actually abandoned. I promise. I totally promise.
Uh,
I literally, well, I looked really hard.
Yeah, Rock will say, I'll come," and couple both get up from their little table. They take a pause on their dragon chess game, and Rock is like, "Okay, I'm ready to come with you. Let's see this
So,
forgotten camp, abandoned
like,
camp."
I start like trotting, like with flat foot, like plop plop. Hey, so the reason I want to show you is there's these weird things they have like everywhere around it, and would I have seen these effigies before?
Um, I don't. Give me a localized history to see how much you've interacted with it. However, you can give me.
Ooh,
Yeah,
finally good.
yeah.
You can roll
So-
single
21
digits.
total.
Oh my god.
Oh wow, wow. Okay. Yeah. So apparently, yes. In your times of, getting bored and venturing away from uh your your obligation, air quotes, to Ben, and kind of dealing your dealings with the cryptic collectors and the Vesk and all them. You have traveled, maybe even as far as like a week or so away from civilization, right? So you have seen things similar to this, but never anything as like large. And yeah, these are just basically um, effigies that are made out of the kills and different sacrifices that some of the crazies, as far as you see it, I'd say some of the crazy uh, individuals from the Bloodlands take with them, and they put them around to scare off potential individuals, because it's a fear element, right? They're these twisted, gnarled wooden constructs that are 5-6 feet tall, that are bone strapped to them, and I would say that uh, with a 21 total, yeah, there's a, how do I want to put it? There's an association with cannibals when you see these things.
Mm.
Oof.
Well, I'm not sure if it's cannibalistic in nature, but this is something grotesque. It's I feel uncomfortable even. I had to go like touch it to make sure it was real. If it wasn't like a trick being played on me by the trees or something, which happens, you know.
What'd I say about touch?
Well, you're right, but I had to make sure, you know.
Make sure what? It real? It look real.
It's like they made these weird effigies, and like there's just like dripping, not really dripping anymore.
When you say the
but
word
it's like
effigy, he kind of looks at you like, "What the hell does that mean?"
it's
Uh, oh,
awful. It's like
yeah.
flayed human flesh, or,
Yeah,
like
I will say,
humanoid.
I see.
I will say that yes. Something you said, dripping. Currently, no, because it's been out in the sun drying.
Like a week, yeah.
Yeah, but there definitely you see the signs of like dried blood trails. So it definitely at some point, whatever was here was fresh.
The ground is red.
Yeah.
So did this?
Adam, when you say that it's human bodies, right?
Human bodies mixed with bestial bodies. So yeah, it's like you might see like
Humanoid.
Okay.
humanoid. Yeah.
So you guys are gonna see Ben start like digging through these effigies,
Okay.
like nonchalant, just like digging through. I'm looking for a mouth. I'm gonna cast Speak Dead if I find one.
Uh,
Because it says it has to have a mouth and it can't be longer than 10 days.
Davis, is he just touching that? Those were
Yeah.
people.
I mean, maybe he wants to bury him or something. I don't.
Oh, okay. If that is
No,
the
you
case.
you can definitely tell I'm not trying to bury him because
Oh,
I'll
okay.
like grab something and look at it and throw it down.
Oh
I-
yeah, no.
I don't
That's
know, he's,
disrespectful. That's
He
not
doesn't
very-
have the. It's not like when Ragnar or Grant were doing it. This is different.
Yeah.
okay. So you're looking for a humanoid that has a intact head, right? Essentially.
No, I'll have to the corpse must still have a mouth. So you take that
Yeah.
as you will.
Yeah, I'm
Does it
thinking.
have to be a head? Does it have to be a face?
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah. I'm just thinking because I know you want to speak with that. I don't want to take that away from you, but I'm just trying to think because like my
Well, if I
vision.
can't do it, I can't do it. I'm not.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be upset if I can. I'm just looking to see.
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a invest. We could do this. Give me a medicine check. DC is going to be fairly high to find one that is a complete skull, not one where they break the jaw off and they just use, like I said in the description, there's cord and sinew that they use to kind of strap them together and they kind of lace it through the eye
Got it.
sockets and everything.
Can I guidance it?
Sure. Yeah. You can always guidance. My rule is if you're like thinking of what you're doing,
Yeah.
you can still tell me it's guidance, but just you don't have to ask. Essentially,
28.
okay. Well, you broke the DC that I had in mind. So yes, you do manage to find, and it wasn't part of the effigy itself. It was actually as you kind of dig through and then are like kind of giving up. You're like, well, that was useless, and you start to walk. You see that there's like more essentially food scraps. I know that sounds really gross and dark, but you see like a pile of discarded food, and it's a twisted mass of some people and some other animals, and you do see that as it's just kind of like laying there dead, one eye just busted out from the elemental exposure. There's a face looking at you.
Okay, I'll look at Cielo. You won't talk,
Uh,
and you'll notice that he's flat panning this like there's no emotion, like he's done this a million times.
I'm not really sure what I would ask because they.
Who did it?
What?
When happened? Where'd it go?
Well, I know where they went. They went that way, and I point where like the foot trails went.
Okay, I'll look around at everyone else. You ask question.
I will, and I rolled just to see how well I did it. In Celestial, you'll hear Davis say, "Wait," and then I will.
And I kind of look at you like, hmm.
I mean, yeah, it's coming along. We're getting there. I was like, Al, we have a thing that can just do this, right?
Yeah. So it's been more and more common. So I've
let's
been
show it.
prepping it. Wait, we're talking about the Celestial, right?
The corpse. No, the corpse mask. You have a corpse mask
Whoa.
that can speak with dead.
Al pats himself. He's like, buckler
That's
number
what I was
2.
trying to
Whoever-
allude to, but don't know you have a corpse mask.
One
Hey,
sec. I got 3 layers of clothes on. It's in this. There. Oh, God, there it is. It was on the belt the whole time. Oh
we
shit,
got
my
there,
4th
James.
belt.
We got there.
Who,
Sorry.
James?
Yeah, okay.
It's a nickname. Kind of like what's the other guy?
Oh, kind of like broccoli head.
Oh boy.
Hmm.
You don't know anything
Haven't heard
about this
that name in a
glaive.
long time.
I communed about it.
Oh no.
But anywho,
Anyway.
okay, yeah.
He's a scion of vegetables.
Al eventually finds a mask amongst all this stuff. He's like, aha! I'm gonna save you some energy. We can use this instead.
Ooh, what's
Similar?
that?
I think it's the same thing. Talk to the dead. But I
Oh,
think
yes.
is it
Are you speaking to me in celestial or common?
common? I have not cast a spell
Okay.
yet.
Okay. Oh, okay.
One sec. Is it still 5? I think it's only 3, right? Out of character.
What do you mean?
Questions.
Oh, questions? Yeah. I don't know.
I think
I,
it's
I
different from.
Well, I don't know about yours, but I posted the Speak with Dead in chat.
Check the item. You can actually read the description so that you can remind people what the corpse mask looks like as well. If you'd be
Yes.
so kind.
I guess I'll post it as well.
Oh, that's fine.
This chipped and cracked porcelain mask has beautifully detailed marks painted around the eyes and cheeks. It always gives off the faint aroma of burning incense. When worn by it, you may speak to a corpse, spinning the charge, giving it the semblance of life and intelligence, as per the Speak with Dead spell. Okay, there it is.
Mhm.
Okay, so I do get 5 questions?
Yep.
Ho
Yep.
ho.
Yep. And then
Da-da-da.
and then the markings fade once you're done, and it needs to they reappear. The difference is that they see you as someone that they trusted, cared about, or see you as a like, it
An
also
ally. Yeah.
an ally.
So
Yeah, it's not where they're gonna
it kind of gets rid of the
the
cryptic, brief, or repetitive. Okay. Cool.
Mhm. So the mask has some purple kind of paint around some some fancy eyebrows, a lot of face paint on the cheeks. It kind of stands out with the mask as the main feature. Al will put it up to his face, and there's a little bit of smoke. You definitely smell the incense going on. But there's a little bit of smoke kind of drafting backwards from his face. Until he'll kneel down and say, before he like starts it. So we have some questions in mind. I like the where, when, why that Ben has in mind.
Who's
Well, the why they may not know.
Ooh. Okay.
That may be like the 5th question if we don't have anything else, because the why,
Yeah.
they may not know why they were attacked and killed.
Yeah, they
You could ask, did they take anyone? If they did, what direction? Because aren't we also supposed to be looking for people as well? And the win, we know if the spell, I hate the metagame, but if the win happens, we know it's within the last 10 days. And Ben would know that, you may not specifically know it, but since I have the spell, I would know that there's a time frame in which you have to ask the question.
that would be new to Al. Al's just kind of like, oh, this is neat. It's kind of immoral,
So
but
you
it's
want
neat.
us to RP that, Adam, or are you just going to go ahead and say that we had that conversation whenever you pulled the mask out and I realized what it is?
up to you guys, my friends.
If once I pull it out, if Ben would be interested in holding it or asking for it, I'd definitely hand it over and let
I'm
him
assuming it
hand
has markings on it, Adam.
Yes.
And I'm assuming
As
those
Al.
markings kind of detect or denote that it's a speak with dead type thing.
I mean, for some various cultures made this mask have originated from, yes. I don't know if Ben would be familiar with it. It's, as Al kind of mentioned, it's a chipped white porcelain mask that has some like distinct, highly contrasting dark purple and violet markings.
Okay. So my historical background, based off my language, is abyssal, celestial, and primordial. So I don't know if that would give me any insight into.
No, not
Okay.
really.
Okay.
Like the one thing that would tune you into that it has some sort of maybe like religious or divine kind of aspect to it, and the slightest is that it does smell like incense.
Okay. So we'll RP it. I'll go.
between
Al, what's that?
it's a mask we've had for a while that allows us to
When you say mask, it kind of looks at it like no shit.
right that allows us to speak with those that have passed on. It's
Oh. Okay.
yeah,
Speak dead.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think we
Okay.
can we can
I
do it
got
once a
spell.
day.
I got same spell.
Okay, so it is okay. So it is similar. Nice. I can use it once a day. Um, it gets when I use it, the purple markings go away, and then when the sun comes up, they come back. I think I get like maybe 5 questions. I don't know if it's 5 questions or
Yes,
a
5 questions. 5
minute.
questions.
Okay, so it
Could
is.
be sometime bad answer.
Yeah, we've definitely seen that before. Ugh.
I don't think we
Ugh.
have with this mask. Isn't that the whole point?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you technically out of game, you wouldn't have. I don't think you've ever received a bad answer. So when I say that, that may be a trigger. That there's something different.
Yeah, the whole point of this mask is
Because
you're
I've
an ally.
gotten different. I've gotten
True.
bad answers. I've gotten. I'll go. Oh, yeah. Sometime bad answer. Sometime mysterious answer. Sometime
Oh,
repeat same answer over.
that's that's weird. That might be different. I never got. I don't think I ever got a wrong answer. Sometimes it'll be like, what do you mean by that? They'll kind of give me a weird look, but
Okay.
I
Oh,
do
and
usually start with I do know I can see s- features of myself of the mask. There's something is different every time I speak with somebody.
hmm,
Um, and they seem to be, I don't know, they're always calm. They're always really cooperative.
okay. So
It's usually very nice.
maybe better speak dead.
I'll tap the mask with this. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
maybe better. Make sure body fresh. Can't be more than you see. He's like closing his eyes and trying to think of the number. Um, 10 day.
That's how long they've been uh gone
Yeah,
for.
yes. Dead 11 day more. No work.
Al looks at the skull. Is the sinew part
It,
of what would be the face, or is it separate
it's
and draped
it,
over?
no. This is a still skin mostly attached, though sagging and torn at. Insects buzzing, in the nose and out the mouth and everything.
Okay.
There's the eye popped, but no, there's definitely flesh still on those. And Ben would be able to easily tell you that it is within 10 days.
And I was going to cast it myself, so that would just be reaffirmation that I know that it would work.
Okay, okay. Hmm. I never knew about that part. What if that's shared between our spells as well, or your spell and
Uh,
my item, my
I
mask?
say I say test, not today.
Okay. Well,
But head good. Ask questions.
all right. We'll give it a shot. We'll try the mask.
As I kind of poke it on the forehead when I do that. Head good.
Right, right.
I don't have the same moral nuances that other people have with dead.
Al's
That's kind of weird. You'll actually notice that I'm not the same. It's like, some people like respectful and blah, blah, blah. I know that that's just a husk and it's already moved on to a better place.
Al's definitely like giving looks to the other party members every now and then, like this is different from Sej and Grant. So there are a lot of different kinds of cleric. Oh, all right. So we have some time once we start. I guess so okay. So I'll start with who are you? Where were they taking you? Do you know why they killed you?
Wait. Just go one at a
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, this is
DM,
Oh,
answer
to
my
the
questions
okay.
all now. One in a row, all in a row.
Well, are you saying this
Mhm.
out loud before you do it or so we get
Yeah,
input or are you just doing it?
he does not have the mask on.
Okay.
He's sorry. He's confirming with the party. He's got his fingers out, the mask on his hip. Sorry.
Then why matter who is?
Fair, just one of many.
I mean,
Okay.
who did
Why
this?
why
Maybe.
matter where Brink ended up here?
Didn't make it all the way. Yeah. We don't know if all of them or some of them were made
Adam, I'm assuming we're
here.
thinking. Is it the location we're at on the map? Is that the
Mhm.
actual location where we are right now?
Yeah, you're at Pebble. So you're at
Okay,
the
okay,
ruin.
cool. I was looking at Sage. Never mind. We're near Hill Bottom.
Yeah, Hill Bottom.
Are there any clothes around here that would possibly denote what type of persons you are? Like they're farmers, hunters, common folk, anything that sticks out that may not be regionally acceptable or regionally used in this area?
Okay, fair point. So as you, well, it's kind of weird to think. With this individual, as you try to like kind of pull and like move the body out from the pile, uh, essentially all that's left as you do remove her, because she um, is the head, a bit of her clavicle, and then like a couple ribs. The rest of her is missing.
Well, okay.
Um,
Then I would also look around the area too. Is there anything around the area? Because I'm assuming if they pulled all the bodies here, they whatever they had and discarded it unless they kept it for.
Interesting. Yeah. Um, this in this like immediate area, you can give me a um for you. I guess you can give me a perception check as you're trying to look around, like scan the area. Um,
Bow, bow.
No. It we still get a
Oh
D4
my.
plus 10.
what was the total? Sorry.
We got a.
Or did
We
he
need.
throw? I got
Uh,
one.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just trying to
there's
see.
a
No,
thing at D4.
Oh,
it's the macro screwed up. I got to fix it, but it's
Okay.
going to be most it could be is 15. So I don't even know if that's even worth fucking around with.
Okay. So as you're kind of looking around, what strikes you is that there's no, at least in this immediate area, you don't see any scraps of clothing or jewelry or anything like that. Um, you do see uh, some uh, leftover like cording
Okay, that
that's
works. So I go.
part of like you do see some leftover like cording that's part of the same pile, but nothing that would like amass to like clothing.
Okay, I was just wondering.
Good question.
I look at kind of like Al. Like, what's your next?
So far, we've got why they kill you.
How many of them? Maybe I don't know.
Did they take
Yeah.
anybody with them?
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
How many were there? They killed early. I'd
Which
say
way did they head? No pun intended.
Ba-da-ba-ba-da-ba. Um, um,
You're having
um,
way too much fun with that damn soundboard.
out, out of character. In the past, Owl has been able to. Do they know things after they die or during their death?
No,
Sorry, after their death.
nope.
So it's no, it's only up until. Okay,
Yeah,
so I
they
can ask that.
they can they yeah they are able to give you answers based on things that they knew. Potentially, like I mean, they could maybe come to conclusions about something, but they're not like an active dead sentry absorbing information.
Yeah, yeah.
You know.
Even
That we
even the
know
minutes
of.
after, it's once they die, it's
Yeah.
end of the tape. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we can ask how many they had taken up to that point. Maybe maybe this person was early on. They can tell if the people have been sacrificed before or after at different points in their journey. Or this was the first. I don't know if it's a periodical thing as they make their way whichever direction they're going.
We don't need to overthink this too much. We got time afterwards to think of questions, and we can always recast it.
Yeah. I pointed Ben.
And
Yeah, we got a
maybe,
backup.
and we can always, you know, uh, maybe we learn new things we want to ask based on what they give us.
So,
All right. So we'll just y'all want everybody ready to jump in or start the speak with Ted?
Sure.
Mm. All right. And then the thing I started describing earlier finally happens. Al puts on the mask. The purple paint on the mask has a bit of a shimmer to it. Uh, you get the incense smoke blowing back from his face, and he'll kneel down at the corpse. It's like a very, very faint purple shimmer. You can never make out the figure, but there is like a face on top of the mask. Um, Al just barely notices it, but it means something to the person they're trying to talk to. Hello?
as you say the first word to engage, that's some of the smoke that comes off of the mask as the marking completely fade away. So it's a solid white mask. However, there's that projection of the unknown visage to the rest of you. The smoke streams over the remainder of this dead young female's face and goes into her nostril and her mouth. You see, as if she did have lungs, she would be breathing in, but hello. Al, something you notice because you're the one that's doing direct contact with her. As the mouth, the jaw kind of moves, you see that there is no tongue, and the smoke kind of fills in the place to kind of give her a tongue so that you can speak to her a little bit more clearly.
Okay. That would be new because most of his prior experiences were not at this stage of decay. Okay.
As you say to Kay, give me a medicine check.
Ba-ba-ba-ba. I am half trained and terrible at that. Yeah. Never mind. Dr. Allegretto on the scene?
Oh,
Oh, 23 total, natural 20. Okay.
I don't think she made it.
Yeah, she definitely didn't make it. Her tongue was cut out.
no.
It's a clean cut.
Oh. So looking past the smoke, I can tell. Okay.
It's a very clean cut. And she with a 20. Okay, so with a natural 20. Okay. Natural 20. She was early teens. Um, she is of let's say she seems to be of humanoid descent. However, there is something interesting about her. You're able to ascertain that she's an Asimar. Um, what hair remains on her hair in her head must have been long and like platinum blonde flowing. The one eye that it remains, you thought it was like calloused and cloudy because of it's dead, but you do see that the eye itself, the iris would have had like an orange yellow color to it. So yeah, young Asimar, her tongue was cut out. Hello.
Hello. Al will now that he's this close to her, he kind of needs a moment to like just kind of snap back into it of like he starts noticing the feature, starts imagining um what the person was like alive and kind of needs a second to like we're doing something here.
And something else you wouldn't notice that because like Ben was looking for clothing, stuff like that. No signs of any piercings in her ears or in her nose or eyebrow. Like, yeah. So no piercings, no tattoos, nothing like that.
Okay. Da-da-da. Friend. Wait, shit. The first question's already out of character. First question already throws off their hey, why'd they kill you? Wait, I'm dead? Oh shit. I forgot we've done that so many times.
No, I think they know they're dead, right?
I think it's only when was it the enemies that's a problem?
It's up to your recollection there. I will act as if I know this person will react. So you do you. Let's put it this way: It's often not a good thing to directly bring up the fact that someone is dead.
Mm-hmm.
But keep in mind that they
So,
do see you as
how you
someone they
doing?
trusted. No, they do see you and hear you, Al, as someone that they loved or trusted or that in life. So it is easier to deliver messages.
Mm-hmm. Are you, they've they've done so much wrong. Did they hurt you or any of your other any of the other townsfolk that they took from the village?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not from a village around here. Question one.
What?
Wait, what was your question? Did they hurt you or anyone from the village around you? I mean, oh, so people from. Technically, that's kind of two questions.
I oh, I see what you mean.
Because did they hurt someone from a
Just
village?
do a big old
Or
Okay.
from,
compound question.
I specified
yeah,
fair. I did specify stolen from the village. I guess that'll make a difference. Yeah,
yeah, because
I did say village
she doesn't know
specifically.
what village. That's the problem. So, um,
Mhm.
she's like, I'm. Uh, they they brought back people from a raid. So that's two answers. I'm not from a village around here. They brought back people from a raid.
Al notices the comma and he looks back at the group.
Sorry. It's just because it was two
No,
very
that was,
distinct answers. So that's why I was like, yeah.
no, that's fair.
Are we hearing all this, Adam, or just him?
I think
Uh,
everybody. Let me check.
yeah, I allow it. Everyone can hear it. It's fine. I don't mind.
Of course, recognize users in less cryptic answers. Not continue. I think it's otherwise just the speak with dead spell.
Yeah, I don't mind everyone else being able to hear it. However, the magic, like they will not associate with you. If you talk to them, it's like you're not talking to them.
Okay,
So
so
yeah,
I'm the
you
only
can
one they
hear the answer.
see, but they hear the answers. Okay, the party
Yeah,
hears the answers. Okay.
yeah, that's fine.
Um, I'll raise a hand. It's kind of like a. It looks like a come closer, but it's more of a anybody have any ideas? Anybody have any questions? Kind of move the fingers.
Is there anything we can do for you now? Just being nice. I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we really need any information from her, but if there's anything we can do
Ask
for her.
them what their favorite color is.
Hmm. Hmm.
I believe proper context would be was.
Was.
That's that Sherlock Holmes intellect there. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yes,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
we got brain cat, brain muscle cat.
Muscle cat.
Yeah, I'm perceptive, but you're smart. We'd make a good crime duo, you know?
Crime is bad, okay?
Guess I got the.
I hear him say crime, and I look at him.
That's illegal.
That's CLO's middle name.
Right?
CLO crime shot.
Just
The problem with crime is it's largely illegal.
What? Right on my palm of my hand, like, oh shit. It's
Yeah,
news to
no,
me.
like Davis legitimately is just kind of like, I don't know. I mean, just let's do right by
Mhm.
her if she wants us to do anything. But you can say that for the end if you want. I don't know what we need to learn.
I'll pick up Ben's suggestion as a third question. Were there any safe shelters around here? Aside from, yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Out of game, that really wasn't a question. I was just doing an example to Davis.
Oh shit! Because he followed up with the thieves tools thing. Well, shit.
Okay, was there any safe shelters here? Uh, they camped along the path. They forced people like me with them. Is it over?
I'm the one asking the questions.
For you? Well,
Oh, I'll softly nod yes.
Is for now, and he just crushes the skull.
No further
Meet
questions.
the
Hardcore.
baddies.
Yeah.
did you
Um,
ask? Did you ask how many yet?
How many what?
It-
Not yet.
That's 3. So
Mhm.
they made camp along. They made different camps along the path. Is essentially what you get.
Okay, so not too far off the Okay, so we have number, we have direction, and we have how anything we can do for you. It's our meeting.
Just throwing this out there. Did they have? I don't know how we would word this, but trying to figure out if they had anything other than foot soldiers. Is there, people on horseback? Or they have wagons? Blah blah blah. Magic users? I don't know. I'm just trying to think of what we could possibly figure out what we might encounter before we see them.
Because this one's not yes no questions. This can be full blood. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but they will, because of the mask, she will answer as best as she can and not to be cryptic.
Mhm.
If she doesn't know, she might just straight up say, "I don't know."
I might
Mhm.
say,
What's a village?
Al, you could. I mean, if you want to see if like that champion guy, someone like that was with her, like you could maybe use a minor illusion to demonstrate. Although that might freak her out because I think she thinks you're someone else. So I don't know.
The caravan did say magic users were kind of rare, at least with the caravan. Not sure about the planes. True. Last resort.
Mm.
The people that took you, were they writing or using anything?
I was not taken. I was brought along. Uh, they travel mostly on foot from the Bloodlands.
Was she working with them?
I'll put two fingers on his forehead and looks down a little bit. You can tell he's confused at that statement.
Yeah, I mean,
I mean,
doesn't that sound like
if
she was maybe
you got,
willfully with them? Crunch, crunch, crunch.
if someone wants to try to connect the dots and wants some assistance, you can roll me an intelligence check. If you're proficient in investigation, I'll allow you to do that.
Coughs yellow.
Let's do it.
Cough me what?
You're
I'm like-
proficient and reliably expertise in. Oh, okay, never mind. Carl's got it.
While the questioning is happening, I'm kind of just.
This is the
distracted looking at
queen.
Oh my god!
Oh,
You picked it right out of the.
So, natural 20 for a 30. So you got the impossible DC. All right, Kara. I love intelligence characters. Okay. It's not that you pick up on. It's hard because you don't. You're picking up subtlety on a dead entity, so it's a little bit different. But thanks to the magic and what Al pointed about her tongue being cut out, and the fact that she has no piercings or no real like clothing around or anything, and the cannibal effigies and blood, and she's from the Bloodlands. She wasn't working with them. Little, she was food. She was
Dinner.
raised to be
Oh,
likely eaten in a celebration of a successful raid or something along those lines. So, yeah, you're dealing with fucked up shit. So, yeah, she was brought here from the Bloodlands. She was raised to be killed. She was raised to. I'll give you with a natural 20 and a total of 30. You've heard of. Well, the tongue is what really bars it off in your mind. Um, you know, delectables, and rarities, right? And maybe her lineage is a little bit different. That, yeah, like, you know that blood is being used to nourish the land because they believe that it's going to appease the gods and get them to work, give them secrets. So it's either she was going to be a sacrifice as a thank you to, a successful raid and pillage, or you've heard of various priests, or air quotes priests, that might ritually sacrifice someone, stuff like that. So yeah, she was brought here from the Bloodlands to be killed, and that's very much what they did. And by the looks of it, they definitely ate a lot of her. They didn't let it go to waste.
She was livestock.
Cannibals, man.
Good thing Al's got a magic mask on because he's making some faces right now.
he's like retching a little.
Oh shit!
I think
You're-
I think here's how maybe I'll explain it. Like you said, it's a deadpanned corpse talking,
Mhm.
but maybe as the confusion sets in, you start noticing the marks on the body, and the first thing that came to mind is maybe a butcher shop.
Mhm.
Everything's cleaned down the seams, popping the joints out, things like that.
And now,
Oh, it's a tongue.
is it over? Question mark. She knew what she was. And that means it makes sense. Why would they put clothing on something that they're going to kill?
Livestock.
Livestock.
I dress up my chickens all the time. Okay.
Little bow ties, little hats.
Yeah, that's so
Sorry.
cute.
They're so dapper.
So, there you go. Curveball for my party. E.
Al's probably just staring at her for a solid 20, 30 seconds, just like trying to calculate everything. Like, oh shit.
You totally gotta like stop them, right?
So
Ooh.
yeah, I don't even know if she would have anything that she'd want us to do. It sounds like she, as far as she knows, this is what she'd intended, and this is, I don't know. Davis is a bit thrown off.
Trying to think.
Al, sorry, Adam, you said we could all hear this, right?
You could hear, the questions, and you can hear her responses.
So did we get what Karos discovered? Did he tell us that?
That's on Karos. Yeah, I'm assuming, but
Oh
I
yeah,
will allow
he
him
would
to.
have. As he put it together, he basically would have blared it out. As everybody's kind of like scratching their heads, he would have said, "She's livestock." Then after the initial shock, like elaborate, like point out the spots, point out the butchery.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're gonna see a different appearance on Ben. Just one of like focus. He's gonna lean over and in celestial he'll say, "This will not happen again," and he walks back to the cart.
Because Opal is with you guys, you just see like she's in shock at that revelation, and she's like covering her mouth and looking down, and she's starting to tear up. And
I think Rock would probably like escort her away if she looked like she was having a rough time.
you'll see she looks at one of the effigies, and she makes a couple hand motions. Aaron, crush, and she creates essentially a gravity well and
Crunches it.
crushes. Yeah.
This doesn't affect the lady I'm talking to, right?
No.
Just
She's not.
crunches
She
the
wasn't
head.
part of the effigy. No, she wasn't part of the effigy. She was part of the
Ah.
discard pile.
Oh shit! I forgot about that. Okay. Oof.
You're not gonna let me do Eldritch Horror, so I'm just gonna come up with other fucked up
With
shit to
hands?
throw at you guys.
I'm in.
Yeah.
I was having a bad time.
Eh, it's meant to throw you off.
um. So, out of character. I'm assuming the person I was talking to can hear everything he's saying. I have to like try to stage speak and hope that they're not paying attention or trying to use another language to like
He
ask the party a
does
question.
not recognize anyone else other than you. You
I would
understand
just
that by the
be.
spell. She
I would
can't
just be.
hear anyone. She can't see anyone. She is focused on you.
But if I ask the party a question, does she take that as her receiving a question?
No. There's the understanding based on how magic works. That it has to be directed at her.
Okay. So I do get to confirm with the party a bit more. Okay.
Yeah. Like basically, just imagine it like when you are not interacting with her, the pause button was pressed. Boop. For the
Okay,
10
cool.
minutes
10
that you have to
minutes,
talk
yeah.
to her. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, we're making plenty of good time. I asked 2 questions at once. I'm efficient. Easy.
I mean, so if
Okay.
she's been with them, maybe.
Were they?
Well, she might have information we could get now, right? But I don't know. Like,
Where'd they
should we
come
ask
from?
if are they interested in any of the dig sites? Like, we could ask if they are sending people to the dig sites or anything, you know?
Yeah. Where were they? I guess that is where are they going next? I guess it is interest of. What's their big plan? What are they?
I mean, she may not know that, right? Like, the livestock doesn't often know the plans of the
True.
farmer, right?
I'm surprised she could tell us anything at all.
She got a little.
Fair.
She got a smoke tongue going on. It
More
works.
of the why would you bother teaching livestock how to talk?
Fair.
Do you want your hamburger to talk back to you?
Yeah, but they could pick it up from listening to what's going on too.
Right. They're more intelligent than cows.
Well,
I
they-
mean,
well,
if you look at some psychological studies of children who are
Ooh.
ignored and berated at childbirth.
Oh yeah, I get what you're saying. No,
oh,
but it's because
Not
we
necessarily,
rolled.
we don't know that they were abused, right? But
Right.
It's because we rolled really well. We happened to choose the one that was psychologically tough.
easy.
No, it's also called DM, just being able to use it as a
Now-
As a
vessel to
lore,
progress the story.
the lore spigot.
Adam, did you say her body was intact? She's just
No, she's in there's not much of her
In
body
tatters.
left.
got it.
Like-
Okay.
In tatters.
Like-
She's essentially like neck down is maybe like a couple like maybe like her a couple bones that are make up her like her ribs and her clavicle, but she's missing.
All the organs
Like
are
they-
gone because those are the good bits.
All the organs are gone. The arms are gone. There's no
like
there's
sinew,
no
and
limbs.
that's it.
Yeah, she was picked clean essentially.
Okay.
Like it's meant to be a very stark and grotesque image.
So we have where were they going? Were they celebrating?
Yeah, maybe what were they celebrating? That might be something they know.
Well, we already figured that out, right? They said they were celebrating a victory.
Yeah, well, what victory?
That's why they ate them. I'm
True.
assuming pillaging the area, but okay, yeah.
But Cielo might know an area if she doesn't know a name, but that'd be. I don't think that would help us too much in the long run. Where were they going? Would they know that? Eh.
I mean, I think Cielo.
Which way they headed?
I think Cielo said he knows that, right?
Yeah,
The tracks, they're freshest that direction. Okay.
northwest, that way. See? I point at it.
Convenient.
Sorry,
They're
everything's
like going
purple.
that way.
Everything's purple and spooky right now. I can't really see, but we'll talk about it later.
Oh yeah, sure.
I feel like I guess we gotta go with something useful. We should just wrap it up. Where are they going? Don't know about the tongue. Like my death is let her rest easy.
I'm assuming their leader is that one that rode off on that thing. Maybe they know something we could use against them.
Ooh, you could ask that. Describe what the leader looked like.
Right, because I asked about the people that took her. What were they riding or using? And she said nobody took me. So she deflected.
You could say, what did the leader look like, or what, describe the leader, or something of that nature.
I like that. Okay. Yeah. The leader of your group. What did he look like?
Or she. Or they.
What did they look like? Donka.
I traveled with a bloated man that wore a mask of blood-soaked linens. He was a priest of the dead queen. Does not sound like the person that you encountered.
Then Crumple Corpse, I assume.
Waiting just for to like, okay. And on that, the one good eye rolls back into the head. The incense flushes itself out of the nostril, the mouth, and the tongue is no longer there anymore.
As Al's gotten more used to the timing of this with each usage, he'll kind of bow and the Sedge thing was the handout. I don't know if Sedge was ever involved in the burials. I feel like that was mostly Dragnar.
Mostly Darknar from what I remember.
Would I have learned any secondhand gestures from Dragnar?
Sure, you're observant.
Oh, definitely, most definitely. Maybe not ones appropriate for this, but most definitely some hand gestures.
Al makes a lot of assumptions. He probably would have taken his best guess and tried to, as solemnly as he could, assume he's doing the right thing and make a gesture. Is there anything you have in mind for if he's seen He's definitely seen Dragnar. We've had too many situations.
Right, Darknar, what would L maybe have picked up from you?
I would probably say, just because the monk thing kind of like of the body, like kind of wiping, not like physically touching, but kind of more of like on a spiritual level, where like kind of pushing away negative energy, and then just kind of trying to put the body at some kind of rest the best way you possibly can. With her, it would probably be like closing the eyes, but he would have seen like crossing arms and putting the body in a position, a comfortable position, stuff like that.
So it is more contact than not, right?
Only for the repositioning of the body and stuff like that. The other thing, like the spiritual thing, would just be like kind of hovering over the body and kind of like pushing away evil or bad or negative type energies around them.
Okay. Then, if you're cool with the order of things, he'd probably push away the negative energy up front as she's kind of fading away from the Speak with Dead, and then he would do the contact part afterwards. If she's not already laying down, lay her down, make her more proper, close the eyes.
Yeah, she was definitely like she had no means to sit up. She was literally a neck and a head. So, when you see the magic begin to fade, you make sure that the head doesn't roll or anything. It stays kind of in position. You brush some of their hair out of her face as it begins to kind of tumble forward, removing whatever negative spirit or juju might have been left behind. And this girl's spirit is gone.
He'll be silent for a few moments. No, these were people. These weren't meant to be livestock. This is it's a lot more than we've dealt with before. I'll stand up.
Yeah, Davis walks off in a huff.
Cielo, thanks for letting us know about this place. This definitely gives us a better idea of what we're dealing with. When you hear blood cultists, you get some images, but this is way
This is
beyond.
just grotesque, right?
Absolutely.
Well, hey, don't mention it. Are we ready to go back?
I think so. Ben took off to the caravan, I think. Yeah, I haven't seen him anywhere. I don't know any kind of burial things. I'd just be making assumptions based on stuff I watched my friends do in the past, but I never learned proper, so I don't know if is it worth it to try? We got some time before we set off again, right?
Out of character, aren't there like dozens of corpses? Like
Yeah,
several?
I heard
Yeah.
a totem
It
and a
is a.
bell.
So there's a totem. There's a multiple. So the campgrounds are laid out with multiple effigies. Oh shit! Sorry, Jones.
Multiple.
And
Okay.
yeah. So
Not just one big one.
anyone that is proficient in intimidation or arcana, you can give me a roll, and I can give you some details.
I'm better at intimidation than Arcana. What the hell?
Adam, while they're doing that, would I had enough time to get to the wagon and get back by now?
It's a bit of a walk, unfortunately.
Okay.
I'll roll for rock.
like
I think I'll
to-
do the Arcana.
I like to lucky that for the 20.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. I guess so. Rock didn't leave. Okay, got it.
Ah. So he let it up and came back?
Yeah,
Wait, I
it's
forgot.
just like kind of helped her just like
okay.
walk a little bit away and then came back.
Gotcha. Okay. And Ben did go all the way back to the caravan, right? I got that right?
Yeah,
Getting all the way back. If I have enough time to get back to you guys, I will because I was going to do
It's
something. But
it's about
Okay.
a 10-minute.
Yeah.
It's like it's like
that's
a
fine. That's fine.
probably there and back is 10 minutes.
Okay. But he's definitely
That's
en
fine.
route.
Okay, so what are we? Sorry, I
So
need to
rock
know
got
what
an
people are
18
rolling.
Arcana.
I got 20
Arcana?
intimidation.
Okay. So kind of group together. The Arcana is like, yeah, it could be some sort of ward. If they are practicing blood magics, be it crude or sophisticated, it could be some sort of ward itself. Al with the intimidation, I mean, it's an effigy, it's intimidating, it's marking your territory. They have this one central one, which seems to be more like celebratory in a sense, right? But there's a lot of smaller little effigies that are like maybe not even a foot tall that are just wood and bone that like seem to designate the outside of the camp, like, you know, warnings. So yeah.
Okay, so this covers a wide area. Did you say how tall the primary one was? Give or take?
6 or 7 feet tall.
Okay.
It's sizable. Like it's like you can't miss it once you approach it, kind of thing.
Mhm.
And again, to keep, it's not just humanoid remains, right? It's, you see like bison skulls, elk skulls, you see bird skull, like you see bones from various animals, but definitely just as if it's the exact same thing. There's humanoid remains. You see a hand, like, you know, like you see a hand like it's kind of like grasped, like you know, like let's imagine like a cross, right? And where there's the cross section, you see like they've manipulated like a hand to like hold it, and they've wrapped cord around it and stuff like that. So it's meant to.
Okay, so they got pretty macabre and artistic with it.
Some of them, yeah. She said there was a priest there.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, her description was a bloated man that wore a blood-soaked mask of linens.
Mm-hmm. Priest of the Dead Queen. Guess so he was bloated, so he did not sound like the main
Yeah,
guy who's actually
definitely,
stole.
yeah, definitely not a big giant hulking berserker.
He definitely wasn't bloated.
No.
As a muscle man.
Yep.
Okay, I will kind of stand up, look around at all the totems, the big and small that are around, and it's kind of obvious that it's a lot to work on. I don't think he even has anything. I think without any more words, he'd pull out the loot, start slowly marching back to camp, and play his typical Song of Rest tune, but quite a bit slower, more solemn than usual.
Okay. As Al begins to head back, once whoever else is joining him or whatever else you're doing, let me know. Does anyone have a, I don't think so, but like a soldier's background or anything like that in this group? I can't remember. I don't think so.
Not
We
I.
got, yeah, no.
Nah.
Okay, go. All right,
Scaros?
that's fine.
I mean, I guess not exactly.
Yeah, I feel like he'd be
Oh.
closest, but not quite.
Yeah, I mean, maybe working with mercenaries, but not any
Being
sort of
mercenary.
Yeah,
like
no.
soldiering campaign.
Yeah, so
Mm.
no one meets the bill to get a potential
Got it.
DM given role. Gotcha. All right, so as Al, you do head back. About halfway heading back, you see as it's starting to, you know, the sun has begun to fall and it's starting to get dark. You see 2 torches and very close to each other, like walking towards you very quickly. And you see Opal is just head down, rushing back to the camp.
She's running away from me or towards me?
Not running, just like mad
Oh,
walking with a huff, with 2 torches in hand, running back to where you came from, towards the camp. The bad guys' camp, the cannibal
okay.
camp.
Okay, so I've caught up with her and she's walking away from me towards the camp.
Yeah, she's already made it back to y'all's base,
Ah,
and now she's heading back towards the cannibal camp. And she's holding 2 torches, and she's
okay,
walking in a huff.
okay. Then I'm hoping my
So am I with her? Because I went there and came right back.
Yeah, sure. You caught up to her. You're a little bit behind her because she left before you. But yeah.
No, no. I think I said I left before she did. But anyway,
Oh, okay. That's fine. Okay, then yes. Then Al, you would have passed up Ben as
I
well.
would. Okay. Okay.
Hopefully my rest of the party isn't too far behind me, but I'll match her speed and maybe a little faster and catch up with her.
So you're turning back around to go back to the cannibal camp? Oomp.
She ran past me.
Not running again. Like she's in a
Sorry,
huff.
yes.
Yeah, yeah.
She's hurrying past me. Yeah.
You can tell she's pissed off.
Pissed. Yeah. She's
Yeah,
gonna
if
she's
I
gonna burn the bodies basically is what she's probably gonna go do.
It snows. Yeah.
if I can't flag her down and talk with her, I'd follow her. Yeah.
So Davis probably would have
Hey,
seen it first because
hey.
he walked off, and then he probably saw like, yeah, that's what she's
That was
doing.
earlier.
He's gonna let her do it.
Hey, Opal, you need any help? What are you
Not
doing?
now. Not now.
I'll kind of jog alongside her anyway. You sure? Need company? Need help?
Like
When there's like a shade from a tree, I'm just gonna fade into it. And I'm gonna start following him.
I mean,
Sunset, so
Celio,
probably, yeah.
it's sunset. There's plenty of shade.
Oh, it's sunset.
just-
Yeah.
he just apparates. Wow.
It's like, I didn't know you were a
I'm-
druid and can travel through
I'm the-
trees. Oh wait, I can't.
I'm a rabbit of the shadows.
What?
Okay, so in short, when some of you were heading back, you would have seen that Ben and Opal were returning back to the cannibal camp. Opal is in a huff and she's holding 2 torches and moving quickly. So that's up to you how you guys want to join. You can either walk back to camp or you can return back to the cannibal camp. Or as you were saying, Cielo fades into the shadows.
That's
I'll-
normal though. That happens already all the time.
That's default.
Yeah.
Owl's too curious. He would follow back with the Opal and probably, if she doesn't answer the first question, he'd probably ask again after 2 minutes, like, so what you doing? Can I help?
I'm just gonna burn everything down.
I like fire. Are we talking about the totems?
Totems, bodies, they don't deserve to be out here like this.
I'm terrible at burials and not very acquainted with the religious stuff, but I think this is a good option. They don't deserve this. I'm in. And Al will take out one of his torches and try to hold it up to her as to like that.
Sure. Once you guys get back to the cannibal camp, you're able to light it easily.
Velcro.
Okay. So,
Adam,
Ben,
whenever we
you
get
would've
back to
gotten
the
there
cannibal
first,
camp.
Yep.
No,
Yeah,
I would say Opal. I would have joined her because
Okay. So
while they're doing that,
was he running
I start
alongside us?
ritual. I start ritual casting when we get back.
Anything in particular, or just want to
Um,
surprise everybody?
Funeral rites ceremony.
Oh, okay, got it.
If Opal's gung ho, I try to hold her back. Of like, hey, this guy knows what he's doing with the maze and stuff. I think we should.
No, I
Honestly.
actually don't stop her. I have no problem with that.
Oh.
And I'll say she burned fine.
Okay.
I make soul better.
Okay. Once you say that, I was on board.
Yeah, so what you'll see is Opal will pull out her tome, flip through a couple pages, and then she'll take her hand and like just slap it in the middle of one of the pages. And Al, because you're in close proximity to it, you see that the page itself has some scrawlings on like the outside, but like the center of the page has a large circle with just like an open area. And when she slams her hand in it, you see that like the ink begins to kind of draw around her hand. And as she pulls it back, they're just like, what's her colors? It's like this white gray mass of like that you can kind of see through it. And then as she pulls back, a giant hand apparates, and she's essentially conjured magic hand, arcane hand, Bigby's hand. And then she's going to be using that to scoop and move, move all the bodies in one area. And then she's going to start digging like a pit with it. And then she's gonna be crushing the effigies down and smashing them.
Um, you mentioned there were no clothes or any kind of like personal belongings around. Was there perhaps like a pile of wood or anything, or is that all kind of thrown in with the pile of body parts?
Honestly, it's a waste pile. So yeah, like I mean,
Bit of
there
everything.
wouldn't be. Yeah.
Okay. Al does not feel comfortable doing animate objects.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah. So after 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 a few moments, and Ben continues his little chanting. Everything that is there has been kind of gathered in one area. She's kind of dug out a shallow pit. It's kind of like a trench, and with the arcane hand, is just kind of laid everything in there. And then she's gonna toss the torches in, and then you see her flip to another part of her book, look over it, and then she'll incant the words, and you'll see her eyes begin to glow fiery red, and then the torches begin to, and then like the fire just gets magnified 20, 30, 50 fold as she's using pyrokinesis to just incinerate everything.
Al, working with the alongside her magic hand, I might have done like an enhanced ability and just done manual stuff. But as soon as she starts doing the pyrokinesis stuff, he'd kind of be stunned, like, "Oh, that's what we're doing." That makes yes, okay. And then he'd probably stand beside Opal and Ben, kind of observing, kind of trying to learn. He knows something greater is going on. There's a purpose
It's not
behind
a,
this.
yeah, it's not going to be an instant incineration. She's just making sure that the fire spreads and
Hmm.
stays red hot. And
But especially at this, I'm assuming it's gotten full dark at this point.
yeah,
Um, yeah, it's just
and it's
pretty macabre.
extremely hot. Yeah, and it's extremely hot because of how much fire she's conjuring. And then once the fire takes like a proper roar and she's done with, her eyes begin to fade back and you see tears begin to take over where it was burning hot. Her tears begin to flow and she slams her book shut, puts it back on its little holster, and then just silent, staring at the flames.
We'll put an end to this. My friends and I will make sure that this is too much.
So if I can get back to camp,
Yep, you're back at proper camp or cannibal camp?
caravan camp. So like
Caravan camp.
Fun camp.
Yep.
Yeah, fun camp. Space camp. No,
Woo! Yay!
so
Who's
I
hungry?
would similar to how Opal was walking back to the cannibal camp. That's kind of how I'm back walking away from it. And so I go to try and find Pew and anybody else that I recognize is around, and I'll just be like, I don't know if Opal told you what we found, but yeah, apparently they are breeding people for food and other nastiness, and it's gross. And I mean, I've seen some fucked up stuff, but that's pretty fucked up. So, at the very least, I don't know what you know, but I think at the very least, before we split up, we should put our heads together and share what we know. And we've faced at least a small group of these guys before, and I want to let you guys know what might await you guys. Hopefully, we don't ever meet with any of these people, right? But given that they're clearly here and around and active, I think you should know. And then basically, I would just kind of like go over tactics and say like, here's what happened when we were in the Alabaster repository, and say like, be careful. And like even like mechanically speaking, start explaining like, the more of them
The
there
more
are,
you bleed.
yeah,
Yeah.
that it stacks up and it gets bad, and so just kind of help give them some guidance on if it comes to blows, just these are the things to be aware of. So.
Gotcha.
And vice versa, like if they know of anything from whatever they know, like hit me with it, kind of shit.
You are like, so just as a reminder, and kind of he'll they'll address it in the conversation. It's like, you're one of the only few people we know that has actually faced off against those bloodletter things, and
lived, I bet.
yeah, so you're kind of the experts on that.
Yeah, I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
Like even rumors,
It's,
nothing like.
I mean, there's rumors from what we've heard that there's, the lands are warping and creatures are warping and changing, and
Yeah. Because like those
that
raiders, sure, they're annoying, they're nasty. Weren't so much a problem, except for, I mean, there's just dozens of them. But like even, gosh, what was it, like maybe 5 or 6 of these bloodletters, and it got kind of dicey even with us, pretty much ready to rock. So
well, it's from what we understand, it's like they don't abide by our reality. They are from some fiendish scape, right? So
okay.
it's I would venture to understand, and that the closer we get, the further we get into the the bloodlands, essentially.
Yeah.
Probably the more horrific and unworldly or otherworldly things we will encounter.
Yeah. Well then,
I mean,
you guys, I mean, according to what I think it was Rafa and Bodhi said, where you guys are going seems pretty remote. It seems like maybe the natural fauna and flora around there like might be more of a danger to you guys, so be careful with that. But like if you see any signs of these guys, like I'd say either take serious precautions or just bail, go somewhere else, and then I believe you guys can probably message us, let us know, and then let us deal with it.
to be fair, we're not necessarily here to fight. We're here to get people out.
Right. But
So,
you've seen, I mean, if they're there and if you saw what I just saw, then like I doubt there's people left.
well, they had to take some people at some point. We know that people are missing from West Grade.
Okay.
So maybe they didn't kill them all yet.
True.
Right.
Just be careful, man.
Hey,
It's nasty.
yeah, of course. You as well. We got 2 days. Well, maybe 1 day if we go fast to
I mean, go fast,
figure
good,
out what we're gonna do.
but I mean, I would be cautious. That's all. Like I don't. Again, we're the experts, right? We the Menagerie are the experts. And I mean, I don't know if you've heard about us, but we're pretty brash and pretty boastful. And here I am before you now, concerned. So take that for whatever what you think that means.
Understood. Probably need to go collect Opal. So he kind of gets up, cracks his neck, grabs
let me
his
let me
gourd.
have a drink of that, bud.
And he's like, he's gonna leave it behind this time. Tosses it to you.
Okay, I'll leave it here. Just I wanted something.
Yeah, he cracks his knuckles and walks by you. Says, he'll be back.
What proof is the drink? How
Yeah,
strong?
I wasn't gonna ask, but I'm curious.
Uh, his gourd. It's not like you're drinking pure burning.
Gotcha.
It's strong, and
Okay, okay.
equivalent to like a let's call it like a bourbon.
hmm
Yeah. So he does have it. Something that you would appreciate, Davis, is that it is well, I say like a bourbon. Let's call it more like a rum. It is watered down, and there is a citrus flavor to it.
Oh, nice.
A proper grog.
Very nice. That's bad. That's pretty good stuff. All right.
Ben, your ritual ceremony
Takes an hour.
is
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, I was gonna say. So it's gonna take a while.
Yeah.
Does the destroying of the area affect it?
I'm sorry.
Does her torching the effigies and the bodies and stuff, does that affect what you wanted to do?
This is more of a gesture, if anything, because the ceremony only does one corpse.
That's why I was just
But
curious what you were doing. Okay, got it.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, it's ceremony, and then what is it called? I just had it up.
Funeral rites or whatever it's called.
Funeral rites, yeah.
Yeah.
So it only technically affects one body,
Exactly.
but it's more of a, you know, a
That's-
gesture to the whole group that Ben is not going to tolerate this happening.
So, as Ben is doing his ritual, whoever wishes to stay behind at the cannibal camp can. Pardon me and correct me if I'm wrong, Cielo, but I would imagine as you faded into the shadows and the trees, you're just keeping an eye out over Ben. I could be mistaken. But yeah, that's your evening, and that's your information.
Now, anybody
Um,
that stays, Adam, is going to see the effect of the shield that hasn't been shown yet.
I'll definitely be there watching. Is Opal heading back, or is she?
No, only when Pew eventually shows up, about 10 minutes later, because discussion with Davis and travel time, and then
Okay. If she
he's
has
like,
somebody to bring her back, then I'll stay with Ben afterwards. But go on.
yeah, he'll be
So
like,
the last inscription of the cosmic shield. I don't know if you want to do it or if you want me to do it.
"Oh, you can do it. But what I'm going to say real quick is, as Pew comes to collect Opal, he puts his hand down on her shoulder because she is a gnome, and says, "Let's get you back to camp and let's get some sleep, Opal. We're gonna leave early in the morning." She just nods, starts walking off with Pew
Oh.
as he looks towards the rest of you and nods and walks off
Opal,
with her.
Opal, Ben. Thank you for this. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. She walks off with Pew. Okay. Rock will walk off with Pew and Opal as well.
I was used to watching Rock, Sej, other casters do rituals. He would usually keep if he just want to observe, he usually keep a respectful distance. I was gonna double that since this one's a little more serious than usual. He probably won't be facing and actively observing Ben, but he'll at least keep him company 15, 20 feet away.
Alright.
Probably staring at the pyre.
So, those pyre trench essentially. Those of you who returned back to the caravan camp, um, it's you are back at the camp. You have your sleeping bags and such it's laid out as normal. You have the central, camping fire amongst the ruins of Hill Bottom, with various people taking watches just to be safe. And yeah, you are able to find an evening's rest, with the understanding from Pew that you guys are getting an early start to tomorrow. Those of you that are spending the hour at the ritual, go ahead, Ben. You can explain the last bit of those as it completes.
Okay, so as I complete the spell, if you speak Celestial, you will hear me say.
I think I would.
Actually, the entire thing would have been in Celestial. So Al, if you wanted to understand it.
Al has plenty of spell slots, so he has tongues prepared. He'd cast that probably twice if he needs to, just to
So
make speaking easier.
I'm assuming you've probably seen it before. It's just it's funeral rites, but geared towards the goddess and all that. The goddess of light. And at the very end, right as the spell is coming to completion, I'll add in light, show us the way, and then you'll see this shield, the center. Like there's an orb circle in the shield. You remember what it looks like?
Mhm.
The shield.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so it starts off looking like that picture I just posted in Materia.
Thank you.
And then, as the spell completes and you feel the holy energy, that is not the one I wanted.
Oh, so like a proper solar eclipse kind of thing with the
Yeah.
high defined.
Yep. And then as it completes, you'll see a shooting star shoot from the middle of the shield up into the sky. Yes, exactly like that.
Beautiful.
And then Ben will turn around and
Put
walk
this
back towards the
in the press, or just so
caravan.
it's in the video. Right?
Okay.
Damn it.
Very well. So, unless if anyone says anything else, the burn for probably the entirety of the evening, based on what is there. They're in the morning when everyone begins to rise early, as you understood that you guys would get a early start to the day. There is a burnt odor in the air, but as whoever was on the various watches, you were able to see the glow of the fire off in the distance, and throughout the night. And the next day begins early, right as the sun crests over the horizon, and the menagerie and company continue along the path on Everly the 27th, heading north at double time. Let me change
Wait,
the
are we
calendar.
at real quick? Are we were at Hill Bottom, right?
Yes. So now you're
Okay.
leaving Hellbottom.
We're
Then-
heading north.
I was going to advise
Mhm.
double time up until Hill Bottom, and then probably a slower pace afterwards.
Okay.
Because
So you
since
wanna-
we're closer to enemy territory.
So did you guys want to retroactive that
Yeah, like one less
instead
day of
of-
travel.
Okay. So then now,
But even still, I would say
Fine.
now we're still double time because fuck that, we gotta get there.
okay, so
That probably lit a fire under our asses. Yeah.
okay, so instead of, so now it is the 26th.
Now it's 26.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, got it. And then y'all are gonna double time it again. So it would be, we'll just say for the ease of it that you'll get to the junction point, the
Within a
splitting
day.
point,
Yeah.
within a day.
We might have a short conversation with probably gritted
Yep.
teeth of like, yeah, fuck it, if we get found out, we're all together, we can take him. Fuck him. Shit. Just
So, as a reminder to the group, and mostly Cielo, you know that the tracks would have cut through the hills.
So
Where you
not
guys
the same
will,
route we're going.
Hmm?
So not the same route.
not the same route. But based on the map and actually, here, go ahead and give me a quick survival check, Cielo.
Yeah.
You probably can't fail it, but I just wanna.
It's a minimum
Yeah.
of 22. So.
Yeah, okay,
We
no,
know
I can't.
how well
you-
you crushed it.
Yeah, need to know.
Go
detail.
for the 30. Go for the 30, you baby.
It's a 31 total.
I don't-
Yo!
Okay, okay.
Swimming up
All
a
right.
survival waterfall.
So this is what we'll do, and this is just the order of operations before we take a break. So I'm going to give him the survival check. We're going to recharge items. Y'all can have your brief discussion. Then we'll take a break, and then after the break, we'll continue. Obviously, so survival check with a 31 total.
Yep.
Yes. All right. So likely what happened is they went across the hills, and they're heading likely back to where they came from. So they may have made a pit stop, or if they have a contingency or some group at the ruins that are currently labeled as Karos, because that's the ones that he rolled for, they may have stopped there. But chances are that they continued further. So you should, if for some reason they make any potential stops, once you get back on the green line and once it starts heading north, you will likely run into them or into similar groups. So basically, from these ruins or this destroyed settlement upwards, it's likely that you might run into them. The chances of you running into them up here, based on just your understanding of the path that they took, is probably very slim. So what your assessment is, like the jungle ruins are probably safe, But once you get on the green path, yeah,
Am I
likelihood
in
of
that?
yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
So with a high degree of confidence, because you rolled a 31, you are likely
Yep.
going to run into individuals once you start going here. And they're gonna be who knows how many days ahead of you, right? So with a 31 and survival and priest and stuff like that, and you do have some ties with the cryptic collectors, ruins and stuff. I mean, you would it's safe to assume, and it's within logic, that if they're gonna bring a priest and they're gonna go to ruins, and that they like to try to uncover secrets in ruins, that they might be stopping at certain ruins. Maybe that's what they needed people for. Maybe that's what they were celebrating. A successful. Who knows? We'll see. But there's definitely a high chance that you
West
might run
there be
into
humanoids.
west there be
Good
more
shit.
of what you've seen. Yeah. So okay, that's that. Um, we could do interactions before we do item recharges, and then we can call it a break. So what interactions do you guys want to have? And this can be, you can just tell me, is it during the day of travel, the evening of rest, or the morning when you guys are splitting up?
I can definitely say I would have two different, kind of be two-faced with if you talk to Davis or Rock, he'd be kind of like, man, we can't let this happen anymore. He'd be kind of like frustrated and kind of like, we gotta help them. We gotta fix this shit. But then with Ben and Opal, um, he'd be a bit more solemn, a bit more serious, and a bit more. I definitely respect what y'all did with with that ritual, that uh, ceremony, but I couldn't think of something myself. I'm not well versed. Could you explain to me some of that? It feels important. It feels right, I suppose, for trying to clean up this mess the pact has created. At least the best we can do. And he'd try to converse and gain some information from Opal and Ben.
I mean, from Opal, I mean, they don't deserve to just be out in the open for anything. You saw that there's bugs and insects eating away at them. Just didn't want that. And I don't want those effigies and twisted warning signs to stay on the path. So I was pissed. I was upset. I was angry. There was there was no spiritual reason for what I did. No one needs to see that. That doesn't deserve to stand.
No, I I I believe you did what was right. I've studied the Pantheon a bit. I don't follow any one particularly well, but beyond the Pantheon, fire, it has a cleansing property, I suppose. It definitely is not just destruction. I feel like there's some kind of sanctity to it. I don't know. It felt like the right thing to do. They didn't deserve that. It's not from happening for more of them.
Yeah,
um,
and that's all I got. It was the first one, what came to mind. Right. Anything
Thank you
else?
for that though. Thank you for that though. I couldn't think of anything at the time, and I kind of froze up, but that gave me some direction. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm. So, can we change the topic? I don't want to talk about it.
Certainly.
Cool. Anyone else for the morning or evening or days of travel? Day of travel. Okie dokie. So, this will be, the Rock owes me a day because this will be the next day. So that evening of making camp, it's yeah, I would say it's a little solemn knowing that the groups are going to be splitting up in the morning. Pew and 14, the various individuals that are traveling with you guys, understand that you guys are likely going in the more dangerous direction. You see at one point, say Karis, you definitely pick up on it, that there's a bit of like an argument between 14 and Pew, and it's 14 trying to convince him that she needs to be going with you guys because she's there to be a blade, and if they're not going to need her at the jungle, then why is she going? And eventually she does simmer down with frustration, and in the evening, in the morning it seems that tensions are still a little bit there, but 14 is going to fulfill her task and escort Pew and go to the jungle ruins to rescue who they can. The only discussion that to be made from Pew's perspective is, okay, so it's going to take you guys a few more days probably to get to your location where we're going. How do we want to meet up? Where do we want to meet up? Should we be waiting for you here? What is the decision?
This breaking point here might be safer than the ruins at the hills, or the all the way back to hill bottom might take too long. I kind of like the idea. Did we see any good place to hide out around here on our way up?
Uh,
Within half a day per se.
sure.
Like a rendezvous
This is
point.
probably,
A rally
yeah,
point.
this is
Yeah.
probably good. All right,
Eh,
so if you are proficient in nature or survival, give me a roll. Anyone in the group as you guys are traveling to try to find a best location.
Side question. Can I use another lucky? I'm using another lucky.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. I'll stick with that. Side question. When we do have these kind of group conversations between the entire caravan, does it seem like there's is it just a big kind of chair council situation, or does it seem like there's a leader amongst a single person leader amongst everybody from the non-menagerie perspective?
You definitely seems to have the highest standing of here who's here. Because keep in mind, like Bodhi, Jesus, Bodhi again. Uh,
Yeah,
Bodhi is not with you guys. He's not a.
right.
You have 14 Opal, Pew, and a few other select individuals that were traveling with you that were of the. Well, you guys know of the Unveilers, which run the Alabaster museums that came along to help, and but yeah, like it's Pew was kind of in charge of the whole effort to get people out.
Okay, okay.
So yeah, it's Pew and his team of you know 8 or so individuals, and then the Menagerie is the other group. Now, there's a number of people that you guys will be running into, potentially, at the various dig sites. Now that's where the numbers start to get inflated. But there at the various dig sites, you're only going to have, at most, a handful of capable hunter, gatherer, or hunter, survivor, tracker, combatant, mercenary types.
Right.
Majority of who you're going to run into, this is Pew, just refreshing you, are going to be, you know, diggers and excavators and people that have been chronicling the adventures, categorizing the finding. There's going to be probably the equivalent of like a cartographer at each site, mapping out ruins or the locations. And the jungle ruins probably has someone that specializes in botany so that they can, protect people from plants. It's
So we could easily be talking like one protector to 5 to 8 explorers, architects, sorry, archaeologists,
yeah,
explorers.
explorers, college, museum, yeah,
Mhm.
that type. You're starting to realize that this has been a big effort for a long time. But yeah, so
Nice,
yeah,
nice.
that's what you. So
Cool.
if
Thank you.
that's it for the interactions, let's go ahead and do recharges and resets. Um, Rock will owe me a
Engine and portents and.
for the previous day,
Oh,
but
okay.
we're gonna need it for today in case you guys run into something.
So
So
you're saying CJ will roll his yesterday one, I will roll his today one? Is that what you're saying?
yep.
Okay.
Please take note of
Yeah.
what he has. So, but please go ahead and do your resets. Go ahead and if you're switching attunements, go ahead and switch attunements. If you're doing this,
Prepare your
that.
spells,
And then-
prepared spellcasters, including bards.
Hey, you're not a twisted totem. Wizard
No,
anymore.
what am I, bull strength today? Yeah, bull strength.
Wow. 1 for 10.
Lucaros, we need the Nirvana die.
I need to swap out one spell. I don't know what to drop. All these spells are like my babies. I don't know what to. They're all perfect.
7.
Interesting. Lucky number
number
7.
Lucky
seven.
number 7.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We all thought the exact same thing.
It's a good day.
I said Slevin.
So what I'm
No,
gonna
I'm just kidding.
start doing, I'm not reading Menagerie chat, but oh, 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
There should be no but to this sentence.
Yeah. That's what's getting me. It's my favorite is I'm not racist, but it's like wait, no.
But
Sorry, no, sorry. I was just saying because Anita asked me to check something.
Mm.
Okay, no.
Subtle.
my favorite is you say that, but
Mhm.
then you give a fact that's completely unrelated to race
Yeah.
whatsoever, just to make
It-
people question if they
Like-
don't know about something. It's like,
Yeah.
But
I'm
wait,
not,
you,
I'm not
but you said you
racist,
weren't
but
racist, but you're like, yeah, I
God,
said
I
I wasn't
love
racist.
cherries.
Yeah.
What? It's
Sorry.
like,
Okay.
what?
I'm not racist, but 2 + 2 = 4.
So sorry. What I'm gonna do
What?
in the Menagerie channel is just kind of record the Nirvana die, just so we
Mm.
have it, so we don't. Because sometimes when we look at roll 20, or not roll 20, yeah, roll 20, it's like
Yeah.
we've done so many other rolls that it's like hard to find.
Mm-hmm.
So I just want to. So it's like rock.
He's just trying to look at what we've been talking about.
I mean, someone else can. If someone else wants to put it in here, you can. Like I don't mind. It's just
Mm-hmm.
bookkeeping for you guys. Like I would say, like if someone wants to write, Rock owes a day of engine.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Like Rock's new engine and new portents, and then Karos's new Nirvana die, and Davis's new totem. Just so like there's never a question if someone's missing, right?
Nice. Yeah.
What do you
Yeah.
got? What do you got? Why are you doing? What you doing?
So once everybody is happy with their resets and their recharges, let's go ahead and take a break. It's
Yep.
10 past the hour. What's up?
I think I subverted the question. Did we find like a rendezvous point?
Oh yeah, did I get my survival dice? Or sorry, my survival or nature rolls? Sorry, I forgot about them.
I think I asked about leadership and councils and stuff.
Yeah, no.
Interrupted.
Survival 3. CLO, what was your survival or nature? Donnie? CLO?
Well, it's a minimum of 22. I'll tell you that much.
Yeah.
Sheesh.
All right. Yeah. So CLO and you will find a decent rendezvous point. There's going to be like a rocky outcropping, just kind of a natural break in the land that there's going to be some of the trees are kind of growing on and the roots are going to make like kind of natural cover, and that'll be a good rendezvous point for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's pretty close to where we are now.
Yeah, it's like at the junction area.
Sweet.
Oh, and the Nirvana die was what, 7 for Karos?
7. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nice.
And then yeah, your choice on uh wait. Oh yeah, and then your choice on 2 and 5 for the portraits. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Got it.
Because
Sure.
13's meh.
All right. Cool. So let's go ahead and take a break. All right, let's just round it up to 15 past the hour.
25.
So yeah, 25. Be back around 25. Sound good, everybody?
Sounds good.